everybody. Been too long. This is the official reunion of CakeDrain on CakeWaves here on the CakeDrain Podcast Network, broadcasting live from the CakeDrain Production Studio Springfield branch.
Yeah,
So,
we're sitting in my home. For new listeners, I'm Cain Martin.
I'm Drake Bardwell.
And we are
CakeDrain
CakeDrain together. Welcome to this just kind of chill episode of CakeWaves. CakeWaves episode 7. Hopefully episode 6 should be out by the time this one's out, obviously. And if you listen to that one, then you got some updates kind of on maybe, where we came from, where we're going, and where we're Cotton Eye Joeing. And so today we're just going to, Drake came over. We recorded another little fun show. It was more of a specific topical thing where I did a lot of talking. You'll enjoy it. It's fun.
It's
Star
fun.
Wars. It's great. This one we're just going to sit down and talk and catch up with each other, catch up with you guys, and talk about maybe some things been on our mind.
Yeah, because I wanted to get us kind of a this is like an official reunion of sorts for CakeDrain, because it's been a couple years since we've recorded stuff together.
It's been a hot minute.
It's been a while, but we've both been busy with our lives. We've both been doing all kind of craziness.
I got a toddler.
He has a toddler. He has a child, y'all.
Like I said in the last podcast, I'm a full-time stay-at-home dad, part-time tire guy.
He's a man. That's what he is. But,
Mr. Mom.
If you guys haven't been following my YouTube channel, Drake the True Snake, I've been trying to keep the CakeDrain spirit alive over there, doing all kind of fun stuff. Excuse me. Oof.
He's a man.
I am. Yeah.
He's the man. He's been keeping the CakeDrain vibe or CakeDrain spirit alive, even whenever we both were unsure if we were gonna do CakeDrain stuff together again or not.
Yeah, King kind of touched on that last time, and from my perspective, it was a little tough from time to time to kind of think back on stuff and be like, man, I'd love to do stuff, but fill in the blank, blah, blah, blah.
Right, yeah.
But we just kind of reconnected recently, and literally it's like we didn't miss a day, in all honesty.
Yeah.
The energy
really
has
is.
not changed at all.
That's when you know you have a good, like a true friendship, true relationship with somebody. If you haven't talked to them in a while, you just pick up the phone, talk to them, and you're like, it's like we talked, 2 days ago. Even though it's been like a year. Yeah.
And it was very I had a sentimental moment, I'll be honest, whenever we talked for the first time in a while. It was one of those, like, you got rush of nostalgia and rush of, it's been so long. But I don't want to go down too sentimental of a journey with you guys on this. This is our fun.
Hey, we're here, we're doing it, we're having fun, we're moving
forward. It's going to be a blast.
Doing new fun stuff in a more relaxed, fun, creative way than I think we've been able to do in a while.
For sure. If you guys haven't followed my Drake the True Snake channel, my journey has been insane. I've gone from doing acting to doing singing to doing all kind of crazy stuff. One thing I wanted to point out, now that we're back together on CakeDrain, was a fake pseudo trailer I did, inspired by Suicide Squad, where we had the Dead Hatter kind of went rogue and decided to become a criminal, so we had to call in the Mr. Nice Guys to gather up all of the other CakeDrain killers and CakeDrain random characters to join up to face him. We had the greatest hits, basically.
Nice,
I brought in, it was the crazy usher, for those of you who remember those videos, for like the combat scenario, the cold Jew for being the disguise. Like, I didn't go into detail of why they were there, but it was just like random shots of them, and then all of a sudden at the end it was called, I think it was called like Horror Response Team Charlie Delta, because that's the initials of CakeDrain.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we need a little tribute to CakeDrain after so long of just tossing a bit of nostalgia in there.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of the awesome CakeDrain nostalgic characters, the Halloween season's coming up, guys. And
yes.
So go check out our horror movie playlist.
Yes.
Of our short films, our horror short films. If you you want some goofy homemade fun that we did just out of our love of 80s low budget horror movies, you can
watch our low budget or no budget movies.
Pretty much no budget. Yeah, we got a handful on there. I've been trying to work on some good new thumbnails for them, get them all pretty
and
yeah.
I have a confession. I actually showed my I have the OG cuts on DVD that we made years ago, and I showed them to my friend, one of my friends, Alex, who's possible future project collab. Not going to throw anything too much out there, but we are. She loved them. She laughed with us and laughed at us and all that fun stuff. But Katrina, my wife, even had a bit of nostalgia because she was in one of those movies as well. But it's a good way to view the evolution of our filmmaking and in all aspects of what we did. Because the first one, you can see it was literally 3 people and a camera and whatever costume stuff we had.
Yeah.
And we just went with it.
Yep.
There are some that were detailed scripts, and there were some that we just threw.
Had no script. There were some short films on there, and I know you're probably gonna watch them and be like, "Did any of these have a script?" Hey, most of them did.
Most of them did, actually.
Some of them did not. I'll give you the breakdown. I think I can figure it out. Okay, Wicked House, no script.
No script.
First Billy Joe, no script. Maybe like half a script.
It was a rough concept that we threw.
The first one had like 3 different scripts.
Something of that nature.
Because we had that other one that we never released on YouTube. That was before Mask. That was like Mask before Mask. You remember that?
I think so.
I don't remember what we called it, but it was Mask before Masks.
I think it was the Dead Hatter's Revenge or something like that.
Yeah, the Hatter's Revenge.
Yeah.
So we had like 3 different scripts of the first one. We had one script that I wrote for the second one. The second one was kind of like my little brainchild thing.
Yeah.
The third one was Wicked House. That was totally improv. The whole thing improv. We probably even talked about this on the videos. The ones on our YouTube channel have like almost like a little behind the scenes documentary thing before and after, or is it just before?
There's one of us talks before, the other one talks after.
Okay, yeah.
Of our perspective for each movie.
Yeah, so anyway, some of them had script, most of them had scripts. Most of our short films did have scripts.
Did have some sort of script
Early
involved.
ones, not so much.
Not so much. I was looking back over them, and I have a favorite character from one, and I have a favorite film, which is a completely different one. Pardon me. My favorite film that we did overall with the visuals and everything was The Wicked House, which is our only silent film, which wasn't supposed to be silent. You'll see all that in the extra footage stuff we put in there. But my favorite character is Owen Hall, who is the vengeful spirit of Halloween. I loved the creation of that character, how we kind of evolved him.
He's definitely one of our scarier ones.
He's one of our creepier characters.
He's one of the ones that works the best on camera. Right there with like Johnny. The Cold Jew definitely works real good on camera.
The Cold Jew was a fun one to do because that one was, well, it wasn't her first one, but it was one of your wife's first CakeDrain films too. We kind of did a few in like a week where we had a few CakeDrain films together. Our first reunion.
So those are your favorite CakeDrain films? Wicked House?
One of the Mask series. Really? I would say Wicked House is my favorite because of the creepiness of that movie, and also just kind of the overall like.
That's interesting.
Because it had more.
I do like some of the visuals from it.
Yeah, I loved, funny enough, I loved the simplicity of our characters in that we had. The names of our killers were Pillowface and Bandana Man, named after our costumes.
They sound like really bad. Like
they sound really bad.
Kid superheroes.
They
Pillowface
do.
And Bandana Man.
Pillowface sounds like a kid villain.
Yeah, they're
like
kid show villains.
Like a '60s villain, and Bandana Man sounds like the superhero who would fight him.
Foiled again. Dang it.
Curse you, Bandana Man!
Would have gotten away with it too.
If it wasn't for that meddling Bandana Man.
Oh man.
But I loved the suspense of that movie. It built a lot of like, when are they gonna full on like what's behind the next corner, basically. I love that feeling of it. The Mask series.
Okay.
That's why it's my
interesting.
favorite.
That's interesting because
Yeah.
I would say that Wicked House is probably my least favorite out of the CakeDrain horror films, probably in general.
Mm-hmm.
But not that I dislike any of them. But I get what you're saying. I think for me, Wicked House works as like a creepy trailer.
Yeah.
But as like a short film, it's not really a whole lot of story. It's all kind of implied, and it was very improv and very rough.
Very improv.
I
And
think my favorite out of the Mask series, specifically, is probably Hallows Eve.
I do love Hallows Eve
Because the all-around scare, the combination of like a script that we both collaborated on, characters that we both collaborated on. To me, it was like one of those perfect collaborations where it wasn't more my side and more your side and more in the middle, and it was executed well, and it was creepy.
It was one of the first. I think it was
Definitely
one of the,
good, very good quality for sure.
Yeah, the first one we kind of collabed on was the original Masks.
Yeah, that was definitely a favorite too. The first one.
That's a number one.
And Crowley Hills.
I loved Crowley Hills.
The third Billy Joe Crowley movies.
That was a fun one to do.
Definitely a fun one. It was my favorite of the Billy Joe movies.
That one, yeah. Out of the Billy Joe trilogy, I would say Crowley Hills is my favorite out of that because it took it away from our stereotypical.
The first two were pretty goofy. The third one was more serious.
It was more structured too.
Yeah.
For the
Carl Shue.
If you need to watch the second Billy Joe just for that line.
Oh my god!
But
There's like a whole following. That was a whole thing at CakeDrain with me and Drake and our friends. Shout out to DJ, shout out to Chance and everybody.
Yeah.
Carl Shue.
Oh gosh, Carl Shue.
It's this guy. What was his name?
His name was Cruz. I'm going to put it bluntly.
He was a friend from church.
Yeah.
That was the only movie, the first and last movie of ours that he was in.
And I'm going to kind of
put in some other videos.
I'm going to put it bluntly. It was the most frustrating film I think we did because the last scene took hours. And it was the most simple shot. But brought out...
Late into the night.
Late
dressed
at night.
As killers. Screaming.
Dressed as a killer.
Waking my mom up. Yeah.
And the last image you see, the last primal rage scream from Billy Joe is real.
Yep.
That was the catharsis of the entire night. That was just me. I'm ready to kill this person.
Yeah, Cruz. He's a nice guy and all. He was not the best. He's not acting. Not for him.
Not for much.
Yeah, didn't take direction well at all.
Yeah.
But hey, he gave us the famous Carl Shue line.
He gave Carl Shue.
And
if we can thank DJ for Bruce, and we can thank Cruz for Carl Shue.
Yep.
So,
oh man, Carl Shue. Anybody want to create some Carl Shue fanfic? Please.
That would be hilarious.
Send it to us. We'll make T-shirts.
We will make.
And we'll send you like the first 10 T-shirts for free.
That would be amazing. If you can create a Carl Shue logo of some sort, that would be amazing. Some flash art. But I think that's also kind of the cool thing is there's stuff in our movies that other people mention or like some people bring up. We're like, oh yeah, that's kind of like that. What stuck with them, like with we kind of talked about this on one of the I Just Woke Up episodes. We talked about where our Bruce comes from, and that's actually from the first Billy Joe because DJ looking for Kane's character was just kind of like Bruce.
Which is a character I wrote in there, named after all of our favorite Bruces: Bruce Campbell, Bruce Wayne, Bruce Banner,
yes.
Bruce Willis, Bruce Almighty.
Bruce Almighty, yeah. Bruce the Shark.
And then I moved out here to Missouri, met my wife, and my father-in-law's name is...
Bruce.
Destiny, man.
It's foreshadowed so much.
There's it.
It's like poetry. It's like George Lucas. I like poetry in Star Wars. It all rhymes.
It all comes together.
Yeah,
it all comes together.
Bruce poetry.
Wow, man, that's a good impression. Sorry, that's our kind of random thing. But I think it really showed along with the name. Not just. I think that's another thing to throw out there is we paid tribute to our favorite actors, directors, and stuff with the names of characters we had.
Yeah, we were very on the nose with pretty much all of our references.
All of our homages and things like that.
Yeah.
Billy Joe Crowley, which the movies we were talking about, is also one of my favorite characters because of the inspiration we took was from Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
Mm-hmm.
and Victor Crowley from the Hatchet series of movies. Side note, I actually got to ask Kane Hodder about his motivation behind behind Victor Crowley versus Jason. That was a really cool thing to get his take on that. Side note, sorry, I had to throw that in there. Fanboy moment.
When he was in Mask Fest. So
he was at.
You should go check out his latest vlog.
I have a vlog with tons of pictures, and you can see the evolution of our exhaustion, me and Katrina's exhaustion from Mask Fest and Horror Hounds Weekend.
So, there any Mask Fest tidbits that maybe you didn't put in the video that you might want to give a sneak peek to our listeners here?
A little bit I want to toss out there is one of the things that I got to do was I got to meet Bruce Campbell, one of my idols, one of our idols, one of our Bruce inspirations, the Bruce. I kind of got to talk to, I guess, I gave him like a quick little nudge of like, me and my friend, we make horror films, and Evil Dead's one of our inspirations. I had I don't mention this in the vlog, but I had my Texas Chainsaw Massacre shirt on. He's like, yeah, man, that's great. Yeah, that's one of our perspirations too, that shirt. And he's like, I'm like, ah! I had kind of a nerd moment. I walked away. You can, if you ever, Kane, you can ask my wife. I walked away with my hand up saying, I will never wash this hand again. I got to shake Bruce Campbell's hand. And I
can see the fuzz growing on it now.
Everyone we met was very down to earth, very cool. But he was one that stood out because he was just like, he had that suave Bruce Campbell, like, yeah, of course. But he was super nice. Him, I guess, I don't know if it was agent, his handler, whoever. He straight up told me, I told him about that as well. And he's like, keep going. The world needs good content. We need more. I'm like, you're awesome.
Yeah.
I don't even know your name, but kudos to you, dude.
Yeah, look at all Bruce Campbell standing there. Like, look at all these sweaty nerds coming over here to shake my hand. Hey.
He's sitting there at the table.
He's such a cool guy.
But
he's so dang cool. All he has to do is just sit there and he'd be cool.
He is. He walked by between photo ops and autographs, and he looked like the smoothest guy ever, the most suave guy. And he had like, he was walking through a convention, and he had like bodyguards, but like con staff around him, and he still had that like, I'm Bruce Campbell.
Yeah, I'd watch him. I'd watch an hour and a half long movie of him just sitting in a leather chair, like sipping a glass of whiskey.
He's just chilling, having a cocktail, and just having a conversation with the camera. I'd be like, yeah,
yeah.
That's. We would sit and listen to Bruce Campbell just tell random. He'd read Mother Goose stories. We were like, this is the best movie ever made.
Yeah.
Fangirl moments. Gotta love it.
Yeah, definitely jealous. That's awesome, man.
That was awesome. It was really cool. It was a very quick moment, but it was one that
excited to go
stood
to a
out.
con. I need to go to one real bad.
One thing I would love to do, kind of, as CakeDrain.
Oh yeah.
At some point, I'd love to go together, and possibly I went as a little tidbit from my vlog. I actually went to one day as the Cold Jew, full cosplay. Got some cool pictures with people, but kind of throwing some CakeDrain love there. But what I would love to do at some point, I think it'd be cool to do CakeDrain at a con as bring back the Dead Hatter and Johnny for a con.
That could be fun.
That would be really cool. And of course, I sat through a few panels and things like that. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, it'd be cool to someday do a CakeDrain panel. To like have to be at that point in life. Because that's, one thing we love to talk about is just, us being nerds doing what we love to do. And that's how everybody at these panels were. It's, they didn't make it sound like I'm such a superstar and you're here to blah, blah, blah. They're like, we're just people who were lucky enough to do this.
Yeah.
This wasn't like a big thing.
I feel like the con crowd is pretty good about that, especially the smaller ones, maybe not the huge ones with the super duper stars, but that con community is definitely something that I want to get and experience, because I've never really experienced it directly, just kind of, dipping your toes in and watching videos about it and listening to people talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm excited to go.
This was our second convention we had gone to. Me and Katrina had gone to the Comic-Con in Albuquerque, which was really cool. Met some cool people there. But I've noticed, as from the horror/Halloween fandom kind of people, because there's also a mask artist convention of vendors. They're the most cool nerds you will ever meet, because they're like, this is just what we love to do. People who you think are like super famous they talk to you like they're your best friend and you've known them for years. Like, like we met Ed Edmonds from Distortions. We met Jordu Shell, who had worked with him, and we were like starstruck, but they talked to us like we're just normal dudes.
Yeah. They don't talk down to you like, stand behind the rope, please.
Yeah.
We
don't touch people. They were very.
Do you want a selfie?
open.
$20.
Yeah, I actually got advice, because I've done some sculpting for masks and things like that. I haven't actually been able to cast them, but I got some advice from Jordu Shell himself on some things. But back to what the purpose of this podcast is about.
Oh, you're good, man.
But back to the whole like CakeDrain reconnecting. I think what we've been like what our experience has brought us. I think we've matured, quote unquote, matured as much as we have. But I think it also gave us new dimension on CakeDrain as a whole. Of was this just a hobby that we just happened to come across, or is this something we're passionate about?
Right, yeah. And you gotta test the stand the test of time.
Yeah. And I had thought, this is something that has truly, like, as soon as we talked together, my brain was like, creative. So it truly proved that this is something that's a passion and not just, we did a few shorts, we did a few homemade things and blah, blah, blah. But this is in our blood. This is something we love.
Yeah, and that's something I definitely touched on a little bit in the last CakeWaves.
Yeah.
It was just me. I did mention that we're doing what we can now with the time that we have, but we've got bigger goals, we've got bigger passions. We we want to entertain you guys, and we want to talk about nerdy things and nerd out about it, and it's fun, but that's not necessarily our passion so much to talk about our passions, but it's our passion to do our passions, and so we
to full on do it.
I said it that one night, and I'll say it again. Like we want to make movies, we want to write things and make tell stories, not just talk about other people's stories.
It's exciting to make something out of nothing. It's kind of you create.
So hopefully we'll do both. For now we're going to be talking about nerdy stuff and talking about things that we're interested in and what's on our mind, but in the future we're definitely going to get deeper into those creative endeavors and look out for those in whatever medium there are. I want to write books, people. I want to write movies and stuff like that.
I want to write some movies and maybe be in some of those projects and be in other people's stuff, and wherever the road leads. I've actually written some stories myself and all kind of fun stuff coming along the way.
There's no telling what's going to be coming. Now, speaking of what's going to be coming, we're getting closer and closer and closer to the Halloween season. We've touched on this a little bit already, but we've got some cool things planned for CakeDrain in general. I've got a couple things I'm going to be doing on the podcast network, kind of horror or Halloween themed, not strictly horror, like genre horror. That Drake's going to be doing that.
I've got some horror podcasts I'm going to be working on. Give you guys a little sneak. I kind of mentioned it in the other show we did, but I'm going to be starting the Slash and Scream podcast. It's going to be horror related and all things horror fan related. Very excited about that. And also on our YouTube channel, where you can find all of our past podcasts and things of that nature as well, I'm going to be starting a show called The Brain of CakeDrain, where I'm going to talk about how you can do creative things on a budget, how we kind of worked on things and how I think of things and how the creative juices flow, and maybe have some special guests on at some point as well. Who knows?
Yes,
so keep an eye out for that.
Definitely working towards getting some other people, some other voices on CakeDrain here.
Yes.
Some things that I'm going to be working on. I'm going to be talking about my love of giant monster movies to kind of tie it into the horror season. Been watching a lot of giant monster movies, some kaiju films out there for you super nerds like me. And then I'm also going to be talking about some of my favorite but yet scariest things that disturbed me most in the Star Wars universe, because I've always got to take it back there. And some other things as well. The movie The Predator comes out this month. I gotta go see that, so look forward to most likely a CakeDrain Reacts and a CakeDrain review of that once I see it. Super excited. Predator is one of my all-time favorite movies, up there with Star Wars and Godzilla and other things.
And on the horror side of things, I gotta point out, in October, the new Halloween comes out.
Oh, just a little tiny movie called Halloween.
A little thing called Halloween. You may have heard of it. I don't know. It stars Jamie Lee Curtis.
Guy stabs some babysitters.
It's some crazy stuff. Yeah, it's a new portion of that series, going back to basics.
Some hipster indie movie. I don't know.
Some weird hippie movie back in the 70s. I don't know. But I'm very excited about that. Expect to hear that either on my channel, Drake the True Snake, or on CakeDrain, or on both. You can check out all that fun stuff.
If we're lucky, we can go on. Drake, you're assembling like a crew to go see it, right? And
we might be doing a crew from a little tidbit. Me and my wife Katrina actually volunteer at a haunted house. I'm not going to say who we are, but come check it out. Branson, goodness, a little evil tried to come out of me. It is called Branson Haunted Hills. If you live in the area, give a shout out. We were just voted the number 4 must-see haunted house in the state of Missouri. That is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Got to give a shout out where shout outs due. But lots of fun stuff coming throughout the month of October and all year round from your bros here at CakeDrain. We are very excited.
Heck yeah. There's a lot of. This is our favorite time of year. We like to pump out a ton of nerdy content. We always make a big deal out of the Halloween season, so now that we're back together doing stuff again, expect no less than lots of
all type of content.
Halloween season stuff.
And one last little throwback there. If you guys get a chance, go on our YouTube channel for CakeDrain Productions. We actually spent the month of October a few years back talking about the history of CakeDrain. If you want to get a little more acquainted with our past up to present.
We did. We have a whole playlist of CakeDrain History Month.
An entire month.
That was like 4 years ago we did that?
3 or 4 years ago.
It's been a while.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, catch up on that. It's still relevant, still pertains to what we're doing going forward. Our motto and our mission statement is going forward, we're going to embrace all of CakeDrain's history and
all of it.
Talk about all that fun, nerdy stuff.
Yes.
So I know you kind of talked about a little bit of it already, Drake, but tell the people different places to find you and different things that you're working on maybe outside of CakeDrain.
Of course. I have my own YouTube channel called Drake the True Snake. I do a weekly show on that called The Weekly Slither. I talk about all things nerdy. I talk about a lot of horror things. I just posted a vlog from Mask Fest a couple weeks ago, from last week. Me and Katrina are going to be doing some advice on there later on in the next week or two, so look out for that. And also on, like I said, the CakeDrain Productions YouTube channel. I'll be doing the show on there and many, many more things to come. So be prepared. Check out both of those and lots more. And also the podcast coming. We're very excited for all things CakeDrain and extended CakeDrain universe stuff. Very excited. Very amped.
Awesome. You can find me on Twitter at CaneJM17. You can find CakeDrain at Twitter on Twitter at CakeDrain. But yeah, help me out on Twitter. I'm trying to promote my new cosplay Star Wars character, Darth Canis, the low budget Sith Lord. So you use hashtag low budget Sith Lord. Send me your love, send me your comments. You can also find me on Twitter at CaneJM17. Those are the places where I'm active. Obviously, we're going to be here on SoundCloud and on YouTube. And those are the places to find us. Those are the places to watch us and hear us. And we will see you guys soon.
Peace out.
And remember,
Bruce! Been too long.